Hello, word nerds, and welcome to the dictionary. My name is Spencer, and welcome to the show. I got nothing funny to say. I don't know. Should I say a phrase at the beginning? Am I overthinking this? Yes, I am always overthinking things. Okay, let's just talk about the words. The first word in this episode is facula. 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 It's like Dracula with an F. What is this word? Noun from 1706. Any of the bright regions of the sun's photosphere seen most easily near the sun's edge. I feel like I need to scoot forward. I'm too far away. Is that better? I think that's better. So this is a sun thing. It's a number of bright regions in the sun's photosphere seen most easily near the sun's edge. Maybe they're most easily seen because it's more contrasted with the darkness of space behind it. That's what I would think. Okay, facula. It's a sun thing. It is from the Latin fac or fax, which means torch. Yep, so torches are flames, and the sun is kind of flames. It's plasma, burning, fusing all of the elements together. Not all of them, just a bunch of them. We'll get to fusion eventually. Okay, facula, that's the first word. My sound effect today is going to be... The next word is facultative. Facultative. It's British. This is an adjective from 1820. 1A. Of or relating to the grant of permission, authority, or privilege, as in facultative legislation. Relating to the grant of permission, authority, or privilege. It's something about, just allowing something to happen, I guess. I assume the word faculty is related to this, which is our next word, but let's not jump ahead. Slow your pants, Spencer. 1B. The synonym is optional. Facultative can mean optional. You don't got to do it. When you're filling those forms on the online form pages, some of those boxes are facultative because they're optional. Okay. Number 2 is of or relating to a mental faculty. One of those mental faculties. What's a mental faculty? Just thinking, inner monologue. What are some other mental faculties? Yeah, see, it's definitely related to faculty. What is a faculty? Well, we're going to find out soon. Don't you worry about that. 3A is taking place under some conditions, but not under others, as in facultative diapause. So it's something that is facultative, happens under certain conditions, but not under those. And I have to remind myself what diapause is. I can't remember. Let's see. Diapause. What is diapause? Oh, we got sounds coming. We can turn off those speakers. A period of suspended development in an insect, other invertebrate, or mammal embryo, especially during Oh, yes, I'm remembering this. When the environment is not great for this creature, it goes into this diapause, this facultative diapause, and it's like, well, we're not gonna change, we're not gonna grow. We're waiting until the environment is gonna get better, so we can go back to normal development. And so it takes place under some conditions, but not other conditions. The diapause is only in certain conditions, not other conditions. 3B. Exhibiting an indicated lifestyle under some environmental conditions, but not under others. See, a very similar kind of idea there, as in facultative anaerobes. Anaerobes. These are something I think that has to do with air, oxygen, maybe they're little organisms that are, I don't know what they're doing. They're just hanging out. They're doing their thing. Exhibiting an indicated lifestyle under some environmental conditions. Yeah. So the anaerobes are going to have a certain lifestyle in these certain conditions. So they're facultative. But what does it mean? Where does this word come from? I guess we got to wait until the etymology for the next word. Facultatively is an adverb. So of course this now brings us to faculty. Faculty, noun from the 14th century. Number 1, the synonyms are ability and power. Okay, right? A mental faculty. Why is my camera focusing so much? I'm not even moving. It's a thing. The mental faculties are the ability to think, the ability to meditate, the ability to comprehend, do math, right? Those are all these abilities, these faculties in the mental state. And then power, right? That's kind of the same idea. But we have some sub-definitions. 1A, innate or acquired ability to act or do. So this is an ability that you either have, you just have it, or you learn it, you acquire it as you get older. The chimpanzees are the birds are teaching the baby birds the faculty of flying. At a certain point, they're like, pew, get out of the nest, fall, learn how to fly. If you don't learn how to fly, you're not going to be a real bird. You're going to be a fake bird. 1B is an inherent capability, power, or function, as in the faculty of hearing. I have the faculty of hearing. I think it is gradually going away, though. Slowly, I'm not being able to hear things. I also just have a hard time sort of comprehending certain things that people say anyway. I think that's a problem with my brain. But the hearing itself is it's just going to go away eventually. So these are the capability, the power, or the function. And there's and some people do not have the faculty of hearing. Maybe it was an accident. Maybe it just was a genetic thing that gradually went away, or maybe they were born without the faculty of hearing, and that's just how they live their life. And it is just it's a different way than a lot of the rest of us. It's a perfectly fine way. It's just a different way. 1C. Any of the powers of the mind formerly held by psychologists to form a basis for the explanation of all mental phenomena. So any of the powers of the mind formerly held. So psychologists used to call these things faculties, I guess. Formerly held by psychologists to form a basis of the explanation of all mental phenomena. These faculties explain where all of the mental stuff comes from, I guess. There's no specific example here. 1D is natural aptitude. That's the whole definition, just natural aptitude, as in has a faculty for saying the right things. Well, I have a faculty for saying the wrong things a lot of times, either because my brain and mouth don't talk to each other and just the wrong thing comes out. It's not what I meant to say. And hopefully I realize it and I can fix it. Or sometimes it's comes off as offensive or disrespectful, and that is the last thing that I want to be doing or saying. And I don't mean it in the moment, of course, but it just sort of comes out that way. And I'm like, wait, that's not what I meant, or whatever. So, yes, I have definitely said the wrong thing so many times. How do you say the right thing? How do you know what to say? I don't know. I had never had that faculty. Let's see. But just in general, natural aptitude. What do I have a natural aptitude for? Sleeping? Maybe? Watching things? Okay, 2A. 2A. This is a branch of teaching or learning in an educational institution. A branch of teaching. So it's a certain kind of teaching or learning, a certain kind of learning in an educational institution. Trying to think of, like, there are the faculty, the people who work in the place, but what is this? A branch of teaching or learning? I don't fully understand that one. 2B is archaic, and this is something in which one is trained or qualified. Something in which one is trained or qualified. You are trained in this thing, and so you are that faculty, you have that faculty. 3A, the members of a profession. The members of a profession. So all the people who are in a profession, any profession, acting, plumbing, electricity. The list goes on of all the different types of professions. Truckers, the teachers, right? Any one of those, they are the faculty. I never thought that you would call the people in any profession, just the members of a profession, are the faculty. 3B, the teaching and administrative staff and those members of the administration having academic rank in an educational institution. And of course, yes, this is the first thing that I think of when I think of faculty. I just finally, maybe within the last year or two, finally watched that movie Faculty. It's a horror movie from the 90s, I think. And I don't know, I was never a horror fan at the time, but now I am. And so Sharon showed it to me, and I think it was made when I was in high school, and it takes place in a high school. And so it brought back lots of memories of those styles and things. And it's a very silly, crazy, funny movie. The Faculty. Oh, what's going on with the faculty? The people who work at the school, the teachers, the administrative staff. Watch out for them. Ooh, they're gonna get you. Okay, come back. 3C, and it tells me that the plural of this specific definition is also faculty. Not faculties, but faculty. That's the plural. And it's just faculty members. The faculty, right? It's plural. As in, many faculty were present. And this word sounds so weird now because I said it so many times. The many faculty were present. They were all there to give a speech to the children. Number 4, power, authority, or prerogative given or conferred. The faculty of the school, they have this power, this authority. They control the things. They say whatever they say is what goes. At least they hope so, because they are in a position of power. A synonym for the whole word is the word gift. Oh, you were born with that gift of that beautiful singing voice. And I don't have that. It is kind of amazing, though, the faculty of singing. There are some people who I think, they train, they work, they practice, they do all those things. But to a certain extent, they were just given this gift, or they just have this gift of the ability to sing so well. Right now the Olympics are going on. I don't really watch the Olympics, but it makes me think of there was all this talk about that swimmer guy and how he was born with this gift of having this really anatomically good body for swimming. They literally talk about, how he's tall and long and his feet, like his ankles, bend so much more or something like that than other people. And, that could be because he's been swimming for so long, his body has sort of adjusted to become a very good swimmer. But he, I think, genetically already he was sort of predisposed to be a good swimmer, possibly. And some people just have these abilities. They have this faculty. I got nothing. Where does this word come from? Why does it mean all these things? Because it is from the Middle Latin facultas, which means branch of learning or teaching. So that's what it is. It is a branch of learning or teaching. What exactly does that mean, though? It is from Latin, probably the same word, facultas, which means ability or abundance. You have an abundance of singing abilities. I don't know. So it's an ability. Also from facilis, which means facile, which means easy. So if you have the faculty for a thing, if you have the ability to sing, then maybe it comes easy to you. It's all related. And of course, it's all connected to fac and facere, to make, to do. You can do all these things. Yeah. Okay. That's it for faculty. That was a lot of definitions. And now, we have the word fad. No more FAC words. Now we have FAD words, which ain't gonna last too long. In the next episode, we're gonna go through a few more third letters. So, fad. This is a noun from 1867. It is a practice or interest followed for a time with exaggerated zeal. And the synonym is craze. And another synonym is the word fashion. It was the fashion of the time. It was the fad. It was so cool. Let's read all these other forms. There's a lot of other forms of this word. Faddish is an adjective. Faddishly is an adverb. Faddishness is a noun. Faddism, that is a noun. Faddist is a noun. And faddy, that is an adjective. I don't think I've heard any single one of these other forms of this word. So I don't know when do they get used. I will point out, though, that in every single one of those, they have two Ds, because if they had just the one D, which fad has, they would be pronounced fadish, fadishly, fadishness, fadism, fadist, and fady. But no, you got to put in that other D to make them pronounced correctly. So it's a fad. I don't ever want this podcast to be a fad, because that means it sort of comes and goes. I would just want it to be there all the time. Even if it's low interest, low popularity, it's not a craze. People don't have zeal for this thing. That's okay. It's just always present, always and forever. But fads, there's always a fad. And as time has gone on and we've gotten into this information age, technology age, internet age, they come and go so quickly. Fads come and go so quickly around here. Any fads from like when my dad was a kid? Well, the Beatles. Could you call the Beatles a fad? They were the Fab Four, but were they the Fad Four? They were popular for a while, and then they broke up, and so they weren't popular anymore. But they're still popular. Everybody loves the Beatles, pretty much. I don't know if I ever got into fads exactly per se. I was not always the type of kid who would pick up a thing. There were certain things that I was like, oh yeah, that's cool. The other kids are doing that, so I'll be a part of that. I remember probably in like third grade, I had those shoes that had the pump on the tongue. If you know. If you were alive at that time, you know exactly what that was. So that was a cool thing. I definitely did that. Maybe some haircuts. I don't know, but yeah, there were. In general, I was not the faddish type of kid. I was not as faddy as some other kids. There's so many weird words of this, so many forms of this word. But here's the thing. Okay, so 1867, that's when people were starting to use this word, but they don't know where it came from. It says origin unknown. So some random person just started using it. Oh, that's such a fad. Where did it come from? Why? Why word? And of course, these days, fads come and go so fast. It's a fad on TikTok for like a day, and then it's gone. And then there's a new fad. They probably don't even call them fads. The kids today, they don't call them fads. Okay. The next word is FAD, all caps. Noun from 1944. The synonym is just the longer form of each of those letters. It is flavin, adenine, dinucleotide, and I may have pronounced those poorly. It could be flavin or flavin, I don't know. And then the next word is adenine or adenine, either one of those probably. And then dinucleotide, FAD. No idea what this is. I assume there will be something about this in the FLA section. Fad. Pew. Next is fade. Fade. First form, verb from the 14th century, starting with intransitive. 1. To lose freshness, strength, or vitality. And the synonym is wither. Wither away. The synonym, the example is fading flowers. Oh, as we get into fall, into autumn, when this episode is airing, the flowers are fading. They're dying. Because winter is coming. And they can't survive in winter. They must go away. So then you miss them. And you love them, and then you are so excited when they come back in spring. The flowers have reappeared. They have unfaded. Here come the flowers. Losing freshness, strength, or vitality, we are all going to fade away. Some quickly, some slowly. And I hope it's so slowly for me. But I also hope it's fast. Okay. Fade, number 2, is to lose freshness or brilliance of color. I worked at a video store in after high school, and there were all the kids section, the whole kids section of movies of the covers they were up against a window or near a window, and so the sun would come in, and over the years, I saw these boxes there when I was a kid, and then I worked there, 20 years later, same boxes, but all the colors had been faded. They had been washed away. They've lost their saturation, and they just looked so pale and faded, and it happens. Something that's like out. I got this big old dictionary here, sitting over here. Is anything faded from it? I don't know. The pages got brown. The text hasn't faded. It doesn't look like. Let's see. Freshness, brilliance. I always have plenty of freshness in my armpits, and so I hope that never fades. Number 3 is to sink away, and the synonym is vanish, as in a fading memory. When you're cramming more memories and more thoughts and more things into your brain, the old memories are going to start to fade away. For me, I think they fade away very quickly. Within the hour, the day, the week, a lot of memories are gone, which is why I just write everything down. I write a lot of stuff down, like what I did for the day. And because otherwise, I will have no clue what I did just a day later. Memories are fading. Pictures. The weird thing about pictures and memories that they say that if you take more pictures, you remember that situation less. But I also think that when you look at a picture, it helps to bring back memories of that situation. If I didn't have the picture, I wouldn't remember. Maybe that's because I'm a visual person. I don't know. Okay, fade. Number 4 for fade, the verb. To change gradually in loudness, strength, or visibility. And this is used of a motion picture image or of an electronics signal, and usually with the words in or out. Fade in, fade out. We don't say fade off, fade on, fade Fade in or out? Yeah, in or out. Those are opposites to each other. Yeah, it took me a second. Yes, this is how we will actually see specifically fade in and fade out a little bit later. But yes, fade, and I use these all the time. Fade in that image. Dissolve it. Gradually go from one to the other, or fade from black into the image, or fade to black from the image, or the audio. The audio will fade out until it is just nothing. Fade. Number 5 is talking about an automobile brake. The brakes in the automobile? Okay, what does it say? To lose braking power. To lose braking power gradually. And this seems like a problem. You do not want to be losing your braking power in your automobile, because then you would not have the ability to brake. Is this used so commonly in automobile brakes that they needed to put it in here? Your brakes are fading. Well, now that I think about it, I realize that the brakes have a certain thickness. And as you use the brakes, they are grabbing onto a part of the tire, and the friction is wearing away the brake pads. There's literally like pads on the things. And so, yeah, you got to get those replaced. Yes, your brakes are fading. Oh, fading. I got my brakes. I got fading brakes. Everybody's got fading brakes. I don't know. How often are you supposed to do that? Is it like certain distances? I mean, when you know they're low, when the automobile person says they're low, you got to change them. Okay. What else? What's next? Number 6 for fade. To move back from the line of scrimmage. We're talking about American football here, I think. And this is used of a quarterback. The quarterback is fading. Oh, he snapped the ball. He's got the ball. The quarterback is fading. He's going to throw it. Oh, he's going to do a Hail Mary, and he threw the ball, and they got the touchdown. And that was their first touchdown of the season. So why are they fading away from the line of scrimmage? It's this gradual thing. I don't know. I feel like some announcer at some point probably just threw out the word for some reason, and then it just stuck. I don't know. Just moving back from the line of scrimmage. Isn't it what they do all the time? Are they always fading? Or is it a certain movement that's called fading? The quarterback fade. 7 is talking about a ball or shot, and this is to move in a slight to moderate slice. To move in a slight to moderate slice. So is that when it is a slice to the right? The ball gradually goes to the right, the golf ball maybe, and so it is fading, I guess. It doesn't say exactly. If you're supposed to know what slice means, I guess, when you're talking about balls. I feel like they say hook is to the left because it's got 4 letters. They both have 4 letters, and slice is to the right because they both have 5 letters. I think that's right. And so if a ball is fading to the right, slicing, is there a term for it going to the left? Can you please answer me? Okay, now we got transitive, which is to cause to fade. If you're making something fading, then you are fading. Fader is a noun. What's this word? Where's this word from? From Anglo-French, fader or fade, which means feeble or insipid. It is from vulgar Latin fatidus, which is an alternative of the Latin fatuus with 2 U's, a double U, if you will. And fatuus means fatuous or insipid. So that's fade. That's fade. Feeble is interesting. I guess if something fades away, if you're fading, you're getting older, you're fading away, you're losing your strength, your vitality, your color, all those things. then yeah, you become, if you are feeble, you have faded, I guess. Someday, I'm just going to literally fade away like Yoda. The second form of fade is a noun from 1918. Number 1A, the synonym is fade out. 2 words with a hyphen. Put a fade on that video there. I want it to fade out. 1B, a gradual changing of one picture to another in a motion picture or television sequence. We talked about that plenty. Number 2, a fading of an automobile brake. Yep. Okay, so this is the noun. So the action of this brake fading away is a fade, I guess. Number 3 is a slight to moderate and usually intentional slice in golf. There it is. Yeah, a slight to moderate. So it's a little bit or it's moderate. But I guess if it's a big slice, then you can't call that fade. What would that be called? I don't know. So if you're here and the place that you're trying to get to is around the corner to the right, then you got to hit the ball in a certain way so it's spinning in a certain way, or maybe the wind is going to catch it and it's going to curve around, and you faded your ball. Number 4 is, I was wondering if this was going to be in here, a hairstyle similar to a crew cut in which the hair on the top of the head stands high. And it's a fade. I guess I have a little bit of a fade. The hair is higher up here than the sides. It's fading because it's fading from short here on the side to up, and it gets longer and longer and longer. And then it's super long on top. No etymology because it's all the same from before. Whew. My sound effect is a fade. Now we have the third form of fade. We got 3 here. This is an adjective from the 15th century. The synonyms, here's that word again, insipid and commonplace. Insipid and commonplace are the synonyms for the adjective of fade. So I guess it just means normal? Fade? How do you I can't think of how I'm using fade as an adjective. I think I want the actual definition of insipid. I would have had like negative connotations to this. Insipid is lacking in qualities that interest, stimulate, or challenge. Dull, flat. I feel like I can be insipid. Commonplace, normal, bland. Oh, that's just that person is a fade. That's a fade thing. Maybe, well, I was going to say maybe fad came from that, but fad's kind of the opposite. It's not commonplace. Everybody loves it. Everybody loves Raymond. Fade away, 1 word. Noun from 1909. Number 1A, the synonym is the first definition for the word screwball. Is this the screwball when you're throwing a baseball? It is a screwball. Is it going to fade away as it gets to the batter? Maybe it falls down, fades right in front of their face. 1B is a slide in which a base runner throws his or her body sideways to avoid the tag. They slide one way or the other. They're fading away from the person who's trying to tag them. By the way, it says his or her, and I would like to think, and I probably said this before, I would like to think that in future versions of the dictionary, it just says their, T-H-E-I-R. No reason to put his or her. Their is a perfectly fine pronoun to describe anybody. Okay? Great. And then number 2 for fade away is an act or instance of fading away. Yoda and Obi-Wan, they definitely did a fade away. There's probably other ones, but I haven't watched all the Star Wars stuff yet. Fade away, Luke. Whew. Next is fade in, 2 words with a hyphen. Noun from 1917. A gradual increase in a motion picture or television image's visibility at the beginning of a sequence. Right? So it fades in, maybe from black. Gradually the image fades in. It could fade in from another image. We typically call that a dissolve, a cross dissolve, something, but it is technically fading in, and the other thing is fading out. They're both happening at the same time. If something is fading in, it has to come from something which is fading out. 1917. What was the first thing that they used? What was the first example of a fade in? And how did they figure out how to do that? Could it have a gradual double exposure? Or that was probably what they did. They probably rewound the film and gradually removed the black. And it's a complicated process, but okay. We have one more word for this episode. Fadeless. 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 Adjective from 1652. Not susceptible to fading. That thing will never fade. Is there anything that will never fade? It's fadeless? Are there colors that are like just popping? If you're the clothing detergent companies would like you to think that their detergent will make your colors fadeless. Now, I don't know if it's true. Eventually, maybe they will fade. You want those saturated popping colors. I can't think of anything that is fadeless. It just won't fade. I don't know what won't fade. Everything will fade. All right. Long episode. We got to pick a word of the episode. We had facula, facultative, faculty, fad, F-A-D, fade, 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 fade away, fade in, and fadeless. And I think I'm going to pick fad as the word of the episode. The fads are coming and going. If it's not no. The fads are coming and going. If they're not going, they're not a fad. The definition of fad is something that goes away eventually. It fades away. The fads fade. That was passable. They're all just passable. I will now quickly tell you about a movie that I watched that probably had some fades in it. Maxine, right? That's the third one. We watched Pearl, then we watched X, then we watched Maxine in the theater. And they nailed the like 80s vibe. The story-wise, visually, there's so many things that just like they're just so 80s. And they're just fun movies. They're fun movies and they're great. Okay. Maxine with 3 X's. There's a reason for that. Okay. I am now going to fade away. This has been Spencer dispensing information. Goodbye.